So in this module, we look at how the state developed in the South and how it affects its provision of security for its people. The modern democratic state was a product of centuries of evolution of Western European history. But it was adopted or imposed in the rest of the world as a model, even when it didn't have the historical context of the Western Europe. This transplantation resulted in many problems. People were forced to think of this ideal democratic system that developed in the West as the model system or the ideal system. And of course, this ideal was different than what the people of South or developing countries thought. Even the Eastern European region, which is the closest region to the Western Europe, had a different history. This model of ideal democratic system was not even acceptable in those countries. So even now we see that after almost 30 years of European Union, the states of the Eastern European are different from the states of Western Europe in terms of patronage politics, in terms of corruption, in terms of the role of religion in politics or ethnicity in politics. So all these things show us the importance of history. History matters, but because of the expansion of Western Europe and because of the importance of European literature and European research, most of the people think that the ideal state is the Western European state. In Asia and Africa, of course, the states didn't have the kind of power that Western Europeans had. So the regulatory power of controlling people, of responding to people was not there. Latin America, which became independent of European states in the early 19th century, so 200 years have been passed. Still, in those states, once you are out of the major urban centers, the national laws, the power of the states decreases and sometimes vanishes. The state in Africa is weaker. Even in South Asia, we see that the state is weaker in terms that there are varieties of ethnic, caste and religious conflict which continues, and state has difficulty in responding to these conflicts. So because of the low regulatory power in the South or developing countries, the original normative model of the democratic Western European state could not be imposed. So what resulted was two different welfare systems. So one was the clientelistic welfare system, where social policies were designed and implemented keeping in view the powers of different social groups. So the social groups that are more power gets more benefits, more social benefits as compared to other groups which don't have. So if we look at different policies, we see that in Pakistan, the civil military bureaucracy, who is a powerful group in terms of policy making and politics, they got a major share of social benefits. Then landlords, feudal landlords were very powerful, so they also got. But if the landless Haris and the workers didn't get much. Another system was the residual welfare system, which was a much lower level system, even as compared to clientelistic welfare system, because there the basic legal, bureaucratic and political capacity was also absent. So there the state was primarily patrimonial and coercive. The idea was not to help people, but the idea was to maintain the status quo. So in both North and South, globalization is a threat to security of the people. In the North, because of the fluidity of the capital, erosion of welfare state, and rise of populism, and in the South because of neoliberal reforms and current and fiscal deficits, and again increased awareness and expectations and low governance. All these lead to less security for the people.